Thank you, everybody. You guys can heckle me as much as you want. If I want Josephina to win also. So, how you guys all doing today? Good. Come on, I came all the way here, and that's what I get. Come on, how you doing? There we go. So, as you all know, I'm Naeem, and I'm a peak performance strategist. By a show of hands, how many of you consider yourselves to be peak performers? Yes. Cool. Nico, awesome, amazing. Shannon, yes. How many of you don't know what a peak performer is? Thank you for your honor. Appreciate it. And how many of you aren't going to raise your hands no matter what I say this morning? Yes, there you go. There you go, my man. So I've been privileged to work with Tony Robbins. I've also been privileged to work with probably thousands of business owners across the United States. I've worked with companies like Salesforce, JP Morgan, Northwestern Medicine, and also tiny mom and pop businesses in the middle of Wisconsin, which was a beautiful experience too, because I got the most amazing sociological, anthropological lesson I could have ever asked for by learning from so many different people, so many different belief systems and values, and learning how to connect and also help them grow and learn. And I also got to learn from them, which is my favorite part. I was talking to, John's not here today, but one of my favorite part about being a coach is I get to learn from these wicked smart people, and I have to keep upping my game every single day. So, and the thing that I want to ask you is, these people at these companies, right? Salesforce, the top people in the world, are they already successful? Yes? Are they already motivated? Yes. And are they busy? Yes. Yeah, so why in the world would successful, busy, motivated people take the time to be coached by anybody? Why would they do it? What do you think? What's that?
Growth.
Yep, growth, absolutely.
Yeah. Finding blind spots.
Finding blind spots, absolutely, right? Competitive advantage, 100%. And they know deep down inside themselves there's another level. And I want to acknowledge all of you too, because you wouldn't be sitting in this room working with James and alcohol-free lifestyle if you all didn't feel the same way inside. So I want to acknowledge all of you for being here today. Now, research has proven if you just sit down passively, like you did in your 7th grade algebra class. Anybody remember their 7th grade algebra class? You do? Okay. But if you're sitting, well, the way I sat, information went in one ear and out the other. And your retention level is only about 10%. But now, if we all sit up nice and tall, thank you, Sheila, there you go. You answer questions, you raise your hands, and you shout back answers. Scientific research says your retention level goes all the way up to 90%. So today the keyword is participation. What's the keyword? Participation. So having said that, is this a committed team, yes or no? Yes. And are you committed to taking your life and your business and your relationships to the next level? Say yes. Yes. Awesome. So I've learned to ask this question. What determines our success and failure in life? Write this down if you have a pen and a paper. It is our patterns. Our what? Patterns. Our patterns. Now, can anybody tell me what a pattern is?
Habits.
Yeah, your habits, right, Amy? Now, how many of you in this room have some good habits? Cool, I see a few hands go up. I'm a little concerned, James. Not everybody's hands went up, right? Now, how many of you have bad habits? I'm going to raise 2 hands. I'll throw a leg up too. So I'm going to show you all a quick example. I need everybody to stand up for just a minute, okay? Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to hold your hands apart 6 inches, just like this. Cool, there we go, amazing, awesome. Boom, boom, boom. Awesome, let me see in the back. Nico's hands are like this far apart. I like the way you think, Nico, 6 inches. Nico's like this, right? Come on, man. So when I say 1, 2, 3, go, I want you to clap your hands together, okay? 1, 2, 3, go. 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 1, 2, 3. Hey, I didn't say go, right? Now, I know not everybody did it too, so great job for those that you stopped. But the point is, do you see how quickly we just created a pattern? Some of you saw me clap and you clapped. Some of you heard me clap and you clapped. And some of you in the back, you guys were just getting into clapping. Now, here's what I want you to do next. I want you to clasp your hands together, intermingling your fingers. Ready? Go. Boom. Now, here's the latest research shows that if your left thumb's over your right thumb, who's got their left thumb over the right thumb? Awesome, cool, there you go. Sheila, yeah, okay. Now, that means you're creative, you're incredibly sexy, and you're an amazing lover. True stuff, yes? Yeah? I see her, she's switching her thumb over here. Yeah, there you go, cool. Now, Who's got their right over the left? Who's got right over left? Cool, awesome, awesome. If you got right over your left, you too, Ben? Okay, cool. That means you're the logical thinker of the group, and you're most likely going to be a billionaire. Now, I know you guys are thinking, you want the sex of the money, right? Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to keep your fingers the same, and I want you to switch your thumbs. How does that feel? Awkward, weird, uncomfortable. How come? What just happened? I broke your pattern, 100%, right? Now, if it feels awkward to change this little pattern, think about how awkward it could feel to change other bigger patterns, right? So this is why we have to be gentle with ourselves, take 1% more pleasure a little bit each day. Like how I did that, guys, right?
Yeah, good job.
Yeah. To keep moving a little forward and go easy, okay? So have a seat, you sexy millionaires. Billionaires, yes. I know. I had to adjust it because I know there already are millionaires here, so I got to go to billionaires now, right? So after working with the best of the best over the last 12 years now, I've discovered there's 3 major pillars creating extraordinary results in all areas of your life. Who wants to know what they are? Say yes. Yes. All right, cool. Now the reason I do this yes stuff and get you to engage, and I'm sure for those of you that know Tony, same thing, it's because it's your physiology first that's going to shift your psychology and everything else. Most people try to change their mind with their mind, which is why it doesn't work. Right? Albert Einstein said, you're not going to change a problem with the same level of consciousness that created it. And the quickest way to kind of hijack your system is not by thinking about it, it's by physiologically changing it. I'm sure, have anybody heard of the power pose before? Yes. Right? If you just stand like this for a minute, I feel it already. I feel like Superman, right? So physiology first. Train yourself to remember that. If you're feeling sad, depressed, anxious, I love how Oscar talked about, I think he left, but the different states and emotions, that is the ultimate key to life. But to do it the quickest, again, is not to try to think about it, it's to get yourself into that physiological state. Make sense? Cool. So the 3 major pillars, write this down, SAM, S-A-M. So the first pillar is strategies. What's first pillar? Strategies. So this is your plan of action. The strategy, this is where most people go first too, right? You go to YouTube, you could read a book, right? It's like, what's the strategy? I want to make more money. I want to build a business. I want to lose weight. I want to find a partner. What's the strategy? The second one is activity. Now this is, like John said the other day, remember the triangle? Thinking, feeling, action. Action, right? Taking action, doing. I remember Ben and I were talking. He's a ready, fire, aim approach. I am too, right? Taking action. Most people don't take enough action. Now the third pillar is the most important one though. It's our mindset. What's third pillar? Mindset. 80% of your success in your life, in your business, in your health, in your relationships, it's your mindset. And same with quitting alcohol. And you guys had the right mindset by joining James's community, Alcohol-Free Lifestyle. I'm sure they equipped you guys with the mindset and the tools to shift. He does the inner work, right? Now, most people, where do they go first if they want to make a change? They go to the strategy. And that's why most people don't change, right? They're like, oh, why don't I lose 10 pounds? Why don't I make more money? Why am I not in the right relationship? Right? Because they go to the strategy. So I want to give you a gentle reminder, not just intellectually though, physiologically. There's 3 levels of learning. There's intellectual learning, which we are all very good at. The next one is emotional. That's when you get into your emotions, you actually can feel it and experience it. But the third one is physical mastery. And when you get it into your physical bones and your nervous system, and you don't have to think about it, that is where we want to get everything. And the cool thing is, all of you in this room, has anybody in this room mastered something in their life? Yes. I hope you all raise your hands. I'm sure you all did. Yep. Because we all have. So you have an algorithm of excellence in that thing you've mastered. What's one thing you've mastered? What did you master? Anybody want to share? Do you want to share? Okay, anybody? Yeah, Shannon.
I've been a appellate lawyer for 32 years.
Amazing.
I have no appeals, and that's
Yeah.
what I do, and I'm very confident in that.
Amazing, cool. I love that. And it's in your bones. You don't have to think about it. Just like driving a car now, you can just drive it blind, right? Most people. What's something you haven't mastered?
Overcoming my trauma that
Yep.
I'm working on right now.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. Anybody else feel similar? Resonate? Can anybody resonate with Shannon? Yep. And here's the cool thing about that. there's also, for everything in life is a skill. When I learned this, it was just such a cool distinction for me, because I used to think, oh man, like Nico's so lucky, he's so good at this, right? He's such a great meditator, he's such a happy, jolly person, right? Anybody think Nico's a happy, amazing person, right? So happy, right? James is so great at building a business. He's taught me so much about building a business, and he's so great with people, right? I'm like, damn, he's so good at that. And I used to be like, oh man, like I suck at this, I'll never be good at this. But everything is a skill. And what that means is you could learn any skill. We all have a nervous system. For lack of a better example, we're kind of like machines in AI, right? And if you train your neural net, you could do the same thing. You just have to get the recipe from that person, which is why I was, tell me, Ronnie or Marty? Ronnie, right? Yes. Which we were talking about, it's being around the people that have that code and that algorithm. So when you hang around them, you actually get the ingredients of what makes them successful. So you could compress the decades it took James to be so successful in business and so many other things. I can compress that into a year or into months or even less, right? And I'm still excited about learning and growing. It's not about just reaching the destination. It's about finding the pleasure in the journey, 1%, 1%, 1%. Does that make sense? So these 4 levels of learning a skill, write this down. The first level is called unconscious incompetence. Has anybody heard this before? Yes. Yep, cool. So unconscious incompetence means I don't know what I don't know. When I was a kid and my mom used to tie my shoes for me, and one day she said, hey, Naeem, you got to start tying your shoes, Buster, right? Atlas, this is going to come for you one day, buddy, right? He's like, you got to tie your own shoes. And I'm like, I wasn't even aware of the fact that I didn't know how to tie my shoes. I'm like, oh, and I got to tie my shoes. What is this tying my shoes thing? So then I had to, then it goes to the next level of conscious incompetence. Now I'm aware consciously that I suck at this thing, right? And this is where most people quit though. This is a great reframe I want to invite you to all to have. And John said a great thing about this too at the end of his talk. He said, when I don't know what to do, I get excited, right? I used to be the opposite too, and we all are, and I'm sure John was too. Before when I was speaking, I'd be like, oh shoot, what do I say now? I'm scared, right? Like now it's like, if I don't know what to do, it's exciting, right? You got to training your nervous system to the physical mastery. So conscious incompetence is like, oh my God, I suck at this? Yes, right? Because now I get to grow, I get to learn, I get to be better, I get to inspire people. And then once I learn it, guess what? I could teach it and share it with other people. Now the next one is conscious competence. This is when I know it and I'm getting good at it, right? Oh, I know how to tie my shoes. Oh, I know how to hit the tennis ball over the court. I could serve the ball, but I'm not a master yet, right? And then the next one, the final stage is unconscious competence. That's when it's like, boom, I'm a basketball player. I know I could like dunk on anybody in here. I know I could probably school all of you here in basketball because I've been doing it for 20 years. I played in college and I'm amazing, right? So I haven't played basketball for like 5 years, but if I pick it up, I could pick it up pretty quick and I could probably get back to where I want to be. Does that make sense? Cool. So once I realized that, you could pass any skill or any challenge that you're going through that same filter, through that same lens. Does that make sense? Cool. And then going back to the emotions, right? Emotional state, your physiology, that's where you want to start. You want to get in the right state first. Because if I'm in a passive state and I'm trying to learn a new skill and my energy's low, like Oscar showed on that David Dawkins chart, if my energy's like sad or depressed, which is nothing wrong with those feelings. Those are all great feelings. Feelings are beautiful. Every feeling is amazing, right? That's too. You don't want to judge our feelings. Every feeling, if all emotions felt fully, lead to joy. Write that one down. That's a really powerful one. So there's no shaming emotions. Even shame is not a bad thing, right? They're all calls to action from our body and our nervous. Yep. Yep. All emotions felt fully lead to joy. All emotions felt fully lead to joy. So it's not about being, oh, I'm angry, I suck, right? Or I'm depressed, I suck. No, like those are totally beautiful states and you want to honor them and you're there for a reason. John also said something great the other day when I was like, I don't know why I am. You say, this makes sense. I don't know why I'm depressed. This makes sense that I'm depressed, right? And not deepening into it if you don't want to go there. And if you want to shift out of it too, you totally can. And the cool thing is you could also shift out of it in a heartbeat. Because right now, I'm curious, what are some emotions you feel right now? Anybody want to share an emotion they feel in their body? What's an emotion somebody feels?
Excited.
Excited, cool, awesome. Anybody else have an emotion? Curiosity, cool, amazing. What's an emotion that somebody who doesn't feel like, well, I'm sure you guys all feel amazing right now hearing me talk, but what's an emotional state? We all have emotional homes. right? So for me, sometimes when I have a flavor that I don't like, a flavor of suffering where it's like I don't really feel like it, but I feel it sometimes. Sometimes I go to anger. Sometimes I go to like sadness. Anybody have like one they resonate with? Fear, okay. Yep, we all go to fear, 100%. Fear is kind of the core root, yep. Anybody have another fear, emotion that they want to shift out of that they go to sometimes?
I was having anxiety, and then listening to you, it shifted again to remind me of its excitement.
Beautiful,
So,
awesome, yeah. And then when you get into an anxious state, what state would you like to go to instead? If you could choose, there's over 3,000 emotions in the English language.
Excitement.
Excitement, cool, and that's where you are, right? Awesome, cool. And then when you sometimes do go to, what was the one that you just said that you didn't? Anxiety. I go there too sometimes. If you don't want to be there, the cool thing is you could train yourself in a heartbeat to go to excitement. But you just have to set up the pathway and the system to do it. Make sense? And a real quick way to do it, if you guys want to do it now real quick, anybody want to do it real quick right now? What's an emotion that we all want to feel? Let's say it as a group. Which one? Confidence, joy, what's a cool one?
Joy.
Joy? Joy? Okay, powerful, cool. But most people said joy, so let's do joy. So everybody just close your eyes for a second. Wiggle your arms out too to break your state, right? Shift your physiology a little bit. Now all you got to do, I'm going to show you how simple it is. Just go back to a time in your life. Could have been yesterday, could have been 20 years ago, could have been 5 years ago, could have been last week, when you experienced joy. When you experienced a joyful state. Notice what you saw. What were the colors? What were the sights? Notice what you heard. What were the sounds? What was the volume? What was the tone or the tempo? And notice how you felt. Were there any feelings? Was there a breeze? Was there a touch? Was there something you were sitting on? Were you wearing certain clothes? Was there a certain temperature? Beautiful. Feel that experience. Now let's do another one. Go to another experience. Could have been, again, a month ago, 2 months ago, 5 years ago, 20 years ago. And the cool thing about your subconscious mind is that it stores all the memories you've ever had. But again, our conscious mind needs to delete things sometimes because there's too much information to remember. So just notice what bubbles up. Notice whatever memory bubbles up. It might be a memory you haven't thought about in a long time or even ever. And now it's showing up right now in a beautiful way, in this beautiful moment with these beautiful people. And again, ask yourself, what do you notice? What do you see? What are you hearing? And what are you feeling? And what I want you to do is I want you to increase the intensity by 20% of joy in your body. And I'm curious, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being super joyful and 1 being no joy, where are you at right now on a scale of 1 to 10? Anybody want to pop it out? Where are you at? 9, 7, amazing. Where's everybody else at? 8, beautiful, cool. Amazing, beautiful. Now let's increase it a little bit. All I want you to do is change the color. Make it brighter. And notice what that does. Or change the distance. Bring the picture closer to your face. And notice what that does in your body. Look how cool it is, how quickly and easily you could shift how you feel. And this is without even using your body. Right now we're just using our focus. And what I want you to do is I want you to create a quick little anchor. An anchor is a physical stimulus that we have millions of them in our life. Some of you probably had a pet when you were a kid. And if you think of that pet, you probably got a smile of joy and happiness and love. Or you think about your mom or your dad or a car you had or whatever, a high school lover. So let's make an anchor. Let's make a simple one, a quick little physical touch. All you got to do is choose, make it unique though. You want to make it unique. And maybe touch your thumb to your pinky. Maybe touch your thumb to your ring finger. You choose. You can make a fist. And you could also make a sound in your head. You could say yes. You could say joy. You could say whatever your word is. But I want you to heighten that state and fire off the anchor. And just touch your pinky to your to your thumb or whatever you want it to be. We're going to go for 10 more seconds. I want to increase the joy some more. And as you increase the joy, I want you to fire off the anchor again. All you're doing right now is conditioning that feeling and that state in your nervous system. Great work. Put a big smile on your face. Take a deep breath in. Beautiful. And come back whenever you're ready. Take it as long as you need. How'd that feel?
Wonderful.
Joyful?
Yes.
Beautiful. Isn't that cool? Yep. And what I want you to do is a cool little giveaway. Whenever you feel like you want to go to joy, I want you to practice firing off your anchor. And also for your homework, I want you to do this. I want you to keep building it too. Because it doesn't just stay there. You don't just, James didn't go to the gym today with Billy and everybody else and work out just today, right? James works out every day. I see him at the gym when we're here in Columbia. He's working out. I train every day too. So also I want you to build this muscle. And the more you build it, you're going to go to unconscious competence. And you're also going to make it physically masterful in your body. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. So before I slow us down and wrap it up, what I want you to do real quick too is, okay, yeah. So there's a cycle of success. It's called the success cycle, right? Draw 4 boxes real quick. 4 boxes. Yep, right next to each other, on top of each other. Yep, just like that, boom. Can I show everybody how you just did that? Just like that. See? Yep. Now in this one up here, I'm gonna borrow your thing, is that okay? I don't need to write. Write a B and a P in this top right one. A B and a P. And then in this one, write down P. And in this one, sorry for showing you notes, nobody could read it. And in this one, write an A. And this one, write R. Okay? So this top one stands for belief and patterns. A belief is a pattern, right? And we all have we have tons of beliefs. And we have empowering beliefs and disempowering beliefs. And same thing, we want to keep building the empowering ones, and we want to pick out those disempowering ones. And again, they're going to keep happening. It's not like something's wrong or something's bad. I want to have a kid one day, a family with Josephina. Guess what? I have some fears and am I going to be a good dad? What if something happens, right? All these little thoughts and stories that come up. But you just want a system to handle them quickly so they don't grow into big monsters, right? So when they come up, don't be like, oh, this is wrong, something wrong with me, I need to go therapy. It's just, oh, interesting. Get excited, right? Conscious incompetence, like, oh, cool, it's something new's happening. And you get to grow, and then you get to handle it, right? And then you get to use that energy in a new way and channel it in a new way. So the next one here is P, which stands for potential. This stands for action, and this stands for results. So real quick, write down a result you want to produce this year. Any result. You could do a business one and a personal one, or you could just do a personal one, whatever you want, in the result box. Write down a result. Thank you. Write down a result real quick. I got a minute. One result you want to produce. You want more vitality and health. You want more love and passion. You want to make more money. You want to give more to charity. You want to go to Africa. And try to make it measurable and specific, right? Basic goal setting, right? Now I want to reverse engineer this though. Because sometimes when we don't hit the target, it's because we have inner stuff that's not aligned. Either belief systems and values, which obviously I can't cover here, but that's a really powerful one too. Because sometimes we just have inner conflict that says, hey, I want to be successful, but I also want to be safe, right? And those don't work together, right? You have to learn how to shift some of those and align some things. But we're going to work with the belief real quick. So to get the result real quick, reverse engineer it. Because to get the result, you got to take action, yes? Yep, more doing. And then to take action, you have to tap into more of your potential, correct? And to tap into your potential, guess what? You have to have the right belief and pattern. So what's the belief and pattern you need to develop? 21 minutes is done. To get the result you want. Real quick, write it down. And you don't have to share it, but real quick, what's the belief you need to install and start to adopt to achieve this pattern, this result that you want to achieve this year? Does that make sense? And I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you, guys. Yeah.
Give it up for Naeem.